Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm author Betsy Love. Here we will explore reading, writing, and other random topics. I hope you enjoy the journey as much as I do.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited about today's episode. Every mom, grandma, whatever, dreams of having somebody follow in their footsteps and kind of carry on the family tradition. Well, my grandson, who is only 9, get this, he's only 9, wrote this darling story. And so I asked my son David if he would please do a voice job for that particular video. So I put together this cute little video of my son reading the story for my grandson's Sage for his video. So I'm going to share that with you now.
Me and Dr. Kionitsa by Sage Gunther. I woke up to the sound of a buzz from my alarm, followed by the male voice of my personal AI assistant. Rise and shine, Dr. Gunther, or you will be late if you do not leave in 1 hour. I got up reluctantly. Dismiss, I replied. The voice did not respond. I crawled out of my bed, got dressed, then walked to my computer and finished the TPS reports that were due. There we go, I said in a delighted tone, glad to get them accomplished. I glanced at the time on the monitor and realized I was late. I quickly walked over to the coat rack, slipped on my lab coat, walked to the sliding door and said, "Open," and the door slid open. "Have a great day, Dr. Gunther," my assistant said as I walked out to see if I could find Dr. Kionitsa. I was told to meet her before I got on the space shuttle that was going to take me home to Earth. I then headed down the hall, thinking she may be in the waiting room for the returning passengers. I continued down the hall and took a right, and then a left. I then made it into the waiting room. I looked around and spotted Dr. Kionitsa in one of the rows of chairs. She looked at me and smiled. "Ah, hello, Dr. Gunther. Nice to see you finally," she said. "Sorry for being late, she interrupted. "Don't worry, I was actually late too." Feeling relieved she hadn't waited long. "Oh, I do want to ask you something." I stopped talking when I happened to glance at a monitor showing the reactor core temperature. It read, "Warning, dangerous core temperature, 1500 degrees Kelvin." My eyes grew wide with concern. "Dr. Gunther, is there something wrong?" I then replied quickly, "Oh, just lost in thought. Do you feel hot? Because I do." I noticed her realizing what I was getting at. She looked at the monitor and read the core temperature. "I know what you mean. I also noticed the coolant pumps were off this morning." I then began to panic slightly. I said as calmly as I could, "Maybe the shuttle will come before something bad will happen." Before I could finish, the siren started blaring, followed by the female voice of the AI-integrated computer system. "Warning, reactor core meltdown in T-minus 210 seconds. We both quickly got up and started running for the escape pods. We made it into the hangar with T-minus 40 seconds left. We opened the pod and climbed in as fast as possible. I ran to the pilot's seat as Dr. Kionitsa fastened her safety belt. I hit the emergency launch button. At what felt like slow motion, we were launched into space. Just as we were only a few hundred yards from the space station, it exploded, sending the pod spinning in all directions, out into the vacuum of space. A few minutes later, it had stopped rotating as the automatic emergency thrusters went into action. The shockwave had blown us fairly far from what was left of the ship. Dr. Kionitsa and I were both out of breath and words. Probably due to the shock we had because of the fact that we had just survived an incident that had a low chance of survival. The AI voice came over the intercom. "Entering planet Kepler 168 FS atmosphere in T-minus 3 minutes. Out of the small window of our escape pod, we saw fire surrounding our craft as we entered the atmosphere. I heard the roaring sound of the air rushing past us just before I woke up from a dream. Sweating, I pushed the covers off of me and looked at the monitor at the computer. I groaned. It wasn't even the day I had to leave the space station. I felt a jolt of relief. I went down to the cafeteria to get some breakfast. The end.
I promise, I'm not prejudiced, but that was really cute. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, please subscribe, like, and share this with your friends. Join me again as I find other ways to entertain you. Have a great day.